Let's listen into the selection.
Jets pick.
All righty, we are live from Atlantic Health Jets Training Center to announce our next pick in the 2015 NFL Draft. The New York Jets would like to welcome 30-year season ticket holder Danny Jr. and his son Daniel Jr.
Let's go Jets! With the 5th pick of the 4th round, number 104 overall, the New York Jets select Bryce Petty, quarterback from Baylor.
So the wait is over for Bryce Petty. Not as long as he had to wait between high school starts and collegiate starts, but Bryce Petty is now a Baylor Bear in the 4th round, and the Jets fans there at Florham Park seem a little bit excited about this. Listen, the numbers are off the charts, but that's not what you have to look at when you look at Bryce.
Well, first of all, this is the 4th round in a nutshell. The Jets were afraid that somebody else was going to come up over them to Jacksonville, who does not need a quarterback. It was obvious that this was going to be the quarterback pick. Bryce Petty we can talk about, but this is a prime example of how you maneuver in this round to get the player that you have targeted.
That's the thing, Bill. How quickly can he adapt to the NFL? Coming out of Baylor, no playbook, bubble screens. Yeah, he has the arm to get it down the field. A lot of their throws were underneath. He's 6'3", 230, with big hands, strong arm. Very good athlete. He had 20 rushing touchdowns over the last 2 years at Baylor, which kind of went unnoticed with all the throws he made. Threw the ball 832 times the last 2 years. Completed a high percentage of those passes. 428 attempts, sacked 24 times this past year. The kid's got talent. He's a sponge. He wants to learn, but to expect him to be ready this year to compete for a starting job in the NFL is unrealistic.
Interestingly, the quarterback that they now have, Geno Smith, is from a very similar system. So at least they will have the experience of having to try to train Geno, and Geno perhaps can translate for Bryce Petty.
Well, let's be clear. They also have Ryan Fitzpatrick there. And
That's
Ryan
true.
Fitzpatrick, you know, if you're not sure on Geno and you don't think Petty is ready to go day one, it may sure sound like Ryan Fitzpatrick could be the way the Jets are going, especially when you pair him with Chan Gailey.
That's exactly
who was
right.
his head coach at Buffalo when those two put together big numbers.
The Jets fans, this is a long-term pick. This is about developing a young man who
Explain why that's such an issue.
He has all the physical tools, and I'm telling you right now, from an intangible standpoint and a work ethic standpoint, there isn't a player better in this draft. He's going to come in and he's going to grind and he's going to do everything that you could ever ask for from a quarterback. But here's the challenge that he has. When you look at what he had at Baylor and what he had to do, the requirements, he has to now adjust to an NFL playbook. He only as a sophomore actually got a physical playbook, something that he could hold in his hand. They tie all of their signals and all of their plays to their signal system. You look down now, they have to go into a huddle. He's never been in a huddle. They've always been the up-tempo. He's got to go under center. These are easy things to adjust to at the next level, but it's part of the adjustment process. 48 times he was under center, only 5 times he threw the ball from taking the snap under the center. In addition, he has to identify fronts. Very simple. I learned some of that stuff in high school. He hasn't. He had to learn those things when going to the Senior Bowl. Are they in an under, an over? Are they shaded? What are they doing on the defensive front? Then he has to learn pre-snap checks and audibles, which he did very little of. He has to identify coverages while dropping instead of from being in shotgun. And then he has more full field progression reads, meaning he has to read from right all the way back to left, when at Baylor, the vast majority was just from this half of the field. So the adjustment is enormous. But if anyone can do it over time,
do you think he can do it?
He has the mental makeup that you look for and the discipline.
The problem is early, all of this learning slows down physical reaction.
Yes, exactly.
So he's going to look very ponderous. He's going to look unsure early, but it will come. It will turn around.
78% of his plays at Baylor, no huddle offense. The numbers he put up at Baylor, outstanding. Over the last 2 years, the Baylor offense he ran had more points per game than the offense Mariota ran at Oregon, and more yards per game than the offense Mariota ran with the Oregon Ducks. But again, the learning curve is going to be the challenge. But when Bryce Petty has been pushed, he has responded. Case in point, our speed stick journey to the draft, and one of the more remarkable games last year in college football. The Baylor Bears were in their home stadium, down 21 points to TCU in the 4th quarter. He connected on his 5th and 6th touchdown passes of the day, and Baylor managed to tie the game with just under 5 minutes remaining. And when all that was said and done, it was his dynamic performance that set up Chris Callahan's 28-yard field goal. The Bears won 61-58, TCU's lone loss of the season.
Superfly. You're going